Imagine this, your interviewer asked you, explain about OOPs concept in the interview. Now, instead of becoming tensed and keeping a blank face, you can explain in this way what I'm going to tell right now throughout the video. So make sure you're watching the video till the end so that you gain maximum out of it. So today the agenda of the video is to know about what is OOPs concept, and the second point, why this OOPs concept is used in the programming world, and the third point, to know about the building blocks of OOPs concept, and fourth point, how to explain this OOPs concept in the interview so that your interviewer will be getting impressed. So without wasting much time, let's go into the video. So the question number 1, what is OOPs concept? So mainly you have two things here, class, object. Now class is something which is a blueprint of object what we are going to create, and object is something which is created from the blueprint of the class. So I know you did not understood, let me explain you with a simple example. Let's say you want to create a supercar. Now if you want to create a supercar, you will not just directly go and build it, right? You will first plan it, design it, you will understand how to create it, like which color of the car you want, which type of tires you want to use, what type of headlights you want to keep for the car. You will everything you will plan it on a paper, right? So this is the planning, and the blueprint is called as the class, and the implementation that is coming from the blueprint is called as the real world object car, that is called as the object. So in the class you will be defining the properties and the functionalities of the object what we are going to create, and that same blueprint will be coming out of output as object. So this is about class and object. Maybe you can take any example. For example, you want to build your dream house. Now if you want to build your dream house, you will not just go build directly, right? You will go to a construction engineer and you will make a plan where you want to, how do you want to look the building, like where you want to keep the bedrooms, where you want to keep the kitchen, where you want to keep the steps, everything you will plan it in a very super manner, right? So that the object will be very nice. So this is about the class and object. So right now on the screen you can see how the object can be created in different programming languages. So this is about the question number 1, or the point number 1 that we have discussed. So going to the point number 2, that is why this OOPs concept is required in the programming world. It is very necessary to know why. The question why is really very important when you're knowing about anything. See, why you're doing BTech, you must have a clear answer. Why you're watching this video, you must have a clear answer. When you have the question of why before you're doing anything, you will have a clarity on what you're doing, and the execution will be very much better when you think of the question why. So yes, let's go to our topic, why this OOPs concept is required in the programming world. Imagine you want to build a Zomato or a Swiggy app. Now if you want to create a Zomato or Swiggy app, you will be dealing with multiple things, like you will be dealing with customers, you will be dealing with the restaurants, you will be dealing with delivery boys. Now if you are able to create classes for each sector of people, like customer class, restaurant class, and delivery boys class, whenever a new person is coming and signing up in your app, let's say I'm a customer in your app, I'm getting signed up. Now customer class is going to create a new object for me. For example, another person is coming as a restaurant guy and signing up in your app, then the restaurant class will create a restaurant object for him. So I'm using the existing properties and creating a new object, so that there is code reusability and the efficiency of the code is very nice. So when we, by this we can actually save the time, right? So if you go in a normal way without using OOPs, it's going to take so much of time, and the efficiency of the code is not very good. So that's why we are using the OOPs concept in the programming world. The main 3 reasons is code reusability, scalability, and the efficiency of the code. These are the 3 reasons why we are using the OOPs concept in the programming language. So hope you got understanding about this point number 2. And going to the point number 3, which is really very interesting. What are the building blocks of this object oriented programming? So let me explain you with a very simple example. Let's take this marker. So the 4 building blocks in the object oriented programming language is inheritance, encapsulation, abstraction, and then polymorphism. So let me explain you with this simple example marker. So if you take this marker, now I want to create a newer version or the advanced version of this marker. Now if I want to create the advanced version of it, do I have to start from the scratch? No, right? I can use the same properties and the same functionalities of the existing marker, and I can create the advanced marker, and in that I can change the features what I want to change, right? So when I am using the same properties of this marker, I'm actually saving my time, and there is code reusability, right? So this is called as the concept of inheritance in the programming world. So in the programming world, if you take, you can use the same code, same class into the next class. You can copy the properties, you can use the properties of the class in the second class by importing that to this class. So that code reusability is there. There is no time waste, and there is no requirement of energy to write again define the properties of the object. So this is about the inheritance. And next, going to the encapsulation. Encapsulation is a very simple concept where we will keep the all properties and functionalities of the object together, and we will together as a object. So for example, if you take the properties of this marker has some material, some brand, and some ink which is used in it. So these are the properties. And if we talk about the functionalities, I can write, I can stop with this marker, I can close the cap. So these are the functionalities of the marker. I'm keeping all this combinedly. This is called as encapsulation. So in the other words, you can take an example of a capsule. So if you take a capsule, every medicine is inculcated into it, and it is covered with a capsule, right? So this is one more example of the data encapsulation. So this is about encapsulation. And next, moving on to the third pillar, that is data abstraction. So data abstraction is about hiding the unnecessary details and showcasing only necessary details for the user. Now see, let's take again this example only, this marker. I want to know how to I want to know as a user how to write with this marker, how to write in a good way, and how to use it in a well manner. I don't want to know how the ink is flowing in the marker and what type of material used inside this marker. I don't want to know all these, right? So these all are the unnecessary information. So while we are creating an app or a program, we will only showcase the features which are useful for the customer. So this is about the concept of abstraction. We will hide the all unnecessary details. This is about data abstractions. And yeah, and next, going to the last one, which is very important, polymorphism. So if you observe the word, poly means many and morphism means forms. Many, one thing existing in many forms. So if you take this example, in this marker I can use camel ink or other company type of ink also I can use. So the same thing existing in multiple forms, this is called as polymorphism. So in the coding also, in the programming also, the same object can be existed in multiple forms. This is called as polymorphism. So hope you got some understanding about all these four pillars, pillar blocks of the building blocks of the this object oriented programming, right? So let's move on to the most important question, last but not least, how to explain this whole concept to the interviewer so that he will be getting impressed. See, the point number one is your confidence while you're explaining. So if you're not confident while you're explaining any concept, even the listener will not get that much enthusiasm to listen to it. So always be confident while you're explaining any concept, not only OOPsConcepts. When you're explaining any concept, be confident. So when you're confident, the person will get that feeling, okay, he's able to deliver something in the project while we are doing in the company. So that is about point number one. And point number two here is always try to explain with real world examples. So when you explain it with the when you're bringing the real world examples in here and explaining with the question, the solution, when you're explaining with the real world examples, it will be an amazing explanation, and the interviewer will get understanding. Even a non-technical person or the small child can be able to understand when you bring that real world examples into your solution. So explain it with real world examples. So that is what I want to tell. So hope you got understanding about the whole video. So if you have any doubts, you can just comment below. I will definitely try to reply to your comment. So if you like this content in the video, you can just like this video and share it with your friends so that it will be useful for them also. Thank you.